folks. The Serenity, now Reconciliation Hour is back. I appreciate your patience. You've been all over the place. You get knocked down, you get back up. You get knocked down, you get back up. All of a sudden you're doing burpees. But we're here. We got a great show for you. Got some immersive traffic reports. We hit the headlines, see what's going on in the world. And I need to get that sample dialed in. We've got a special feline report from the cat. Got some good traffic bits. Former Monk star received a heart transplant. People who enjoy haunted houses are generally dumb, and you can get published with pretty small sample sizes if you're a Danish researcher. So that's a bit of what's coming up. I appreciate your time. Let's get into it. This is coming over the wire. Via Today. Jason Gray Stanford. Best known for his voice work and playing Lieutenant Randy Disher on the television show Monk. He recently received a heart transplant. So he said that when he was on set, he felt like he had the flu. But he was stunned upon receiving his diagnosis of heart failure, later needing a life-saving transplant. So, Today ran this story in honor of American Heart Month. So, yeah, let's see. 2018, started feeling run down at the end of a busy shoot in Vancouver. He went to the emergency room and let's see. Yeah, he had heart failure. He then received a crash course in heart health. Let's see. When doctors think about the heart's function, they consider something called ejection fraction, which refers to how well your left ventricle pumps blood with each heartbeat, according to the Cleveland Clinic. Healthy hearts have an ejection fraction of 50 to 75%, and his was at 30%. Let's see. He's got sent a courtesy photo to Today, and he's got some pretty boring glasses. I feel like he could have gotten, I don't know, some better frames. But I don't know. Maybe he was wearing them. They're prop glasses, because he had to go to the ER from on set. So hopefully he touches on his glasses as the story goes on. Let's see. Ooh. Blood clot in his heart. and they worried about it traveling to his brain, so they had to give him some blood thinners. So he was stuck in Vancouver, where luckily he has family. Then he went back to LA. They told him the same thing. They gave him some medicine. Had a mostly normal life for the next 2 years. Let's see. End of December 2019. He was visiting Vancouver and went to a spin class. Oh, I can't imagine this going well. Oh, dang. One moment I was pedaling with everyone else. The next I woke up on the floor with the entire class peering down at me. I'd blacked out on the spin bike. I was terrified. How could I lose so much time? Why did I end up on the floor? Suddenly I was being rushed to the hospital. The situation felt grave. Doctors wanted to give him a pacemaker and a defibrillator. God, I hate that word. Defibrillator. To shock his heart back into the rhythm if it became erratic again. It felt surreal. He thought if he stuck with healthy habits and took his medicine, he'd be better. He didn't want a pacemaker or a defib. Those were for old people. He wasn't even 50 yet, but the doctors explained that these devices would help him be healthy and active. At the time, though, he had no idea how damaged his heart was. Recovered from surgery, tried working out, but struggled. Couldn't even take walks and felt winded going up the stairs. February 2020. Back to the hospital. His kidneys and liver were failing. Dang. His heart wasn't able to pump enough blood to his entire body, and some of the organs started to suffer. Dang. Yeah, he's not looking so hot in these pictures. Let's see. He retained so much water, he needed to take a diuretic. But he was still thirsty. Let's see. Dang. He couldn't walk his dog. He normally walked his dog a mile at a time. Soon it was half a mile, then around the block. Finally, we stopped walking altogether. When he slept, he would wake gasping for breath. At the end of November 2020, he was back in the hospital after retaining fluid again. Continuing kidney failure. And then they started to see if he could get a heart transplant, which makes sense. Let's see. So I guess when he was in February 2020, they kind of mentioned that they might need to pursue a heart transplant eventually, but they thought, years later. Let's see. Dang. Yeah, had to get a heart transplant. Oh, dang. Now here he is, looking groovy, on a trail with his dog, looking happy. You can see the sky. The sky has a couple pretty pink chemtrails in it. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Kidney failure. Let's see. He told me I could think about being on the transplant list for a few days. Dang. A heart. Okay. So he was thinking about it. Cardiologist shows up. He's like, hey, this heart just came in. That was a 95% match. If if he wanted it, it was his. So he called his family, commiserated, laughed, cried, and said, I'll take it. Just buying it off the rack. Let's see. Oh, dang. So after the heart surgery, the doctor shared how damaged his heart was. He said it was black, and I likely could have only lived a few more weeks with it. When they placed the new heart in my chest, it started beating immediately like a perfect fit. Well, I mean, that's like, I don't know, the way this is written is like if it won an essay contest. Let's see. Woke the next day, took a breath without struggling, felt relief. Hearing the steady bump of a normal heartbeat on the monitor sounded amazing. Dang, that's cool, man. Dang. Perseverance. At first. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, dang. No, I'm not. Yeah, that's gross. 14 months out from his heart transplant, feels great. He wears a scar on his chest as a badge of honor. Dang. Okay, so yeah, this is an interview that it says, as told to Megan Holohan. This interview has been edited and condensed. Wonder if Megan Holohan is a high school girl who's really good at winning essay contests. But either way, I'm happy for him. I bet it probably wouldn't have gotten so bad if he spent his whole time listening to doctors. I'm just kidding. Good for him. I didn't really care for his character on Monk. Let's see if he's done anything. It says that he was also a voice actor, so maybe he's voiced something more enjoyable than his character on Monk. Oh yeah, he's Canadian, so that's why he's got family in Vancouver. He's 5'10". Oh, and during this story, he was talking about he wasn't even 50 yet, but looking now, he's 51, so he's in his late 40s. So I don't think that's that. I mean, yeah, it's not ideal, but we're going to start seeing a lot more serious health issues pop up a lot earlier in people's lives, because any statistics that we have are based on generations that weren't raised on the same terrible stuff that's so prevalent now. So let's see. Looks like he's in some stupid DC series. Oh, cool. He was on a couple episodes of the X-Files. NCIS New Orleans. Bones. Love Bones. That's a good show. Let's see. NCIS. Whoa. He was in this thing called Being Bin Laden in 2011. It was on an episode of Grey's Anatomy. Man. Bunch of Monk episodes. 125. My dude. He's in A Beautiful Mind. Let's see.
TV series called Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd Century. Stargate SG-1. Queer as Folk. That Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd Century. He did the voice of Sherlock Holmes. And then he also did some voice acting in 1998 in a TV series called Greatest Heroes and Legends of the Bible. Let's see. Yeah, he did a good deal of voice acting. He did 1997, he did some voice acting on a TV series called Extreme Dinosaurs. He was the voice of Raditz on Dragon Ball Z. Let's see, another Bible credit. Dang. Alright, so that's a little bit of the career of Jason Gray Stanford, recent heart transplant recipient. Happy American Heart Month. And I hope American Heart Month has been good to you.
All right. So that's what's going on in the world of a Canadian actor who used to be on a sitcom with Tony Shalhoub. I'd now like to share with you the results of a science experiment I conducted. The results of which follow. I put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it. And there you have it. My appreciation for you as an audience is boundless. All right, back to the news.
All right, we've got another interesting piece of news. Got an article from Ars Technica, which I don't know much about as a publication. I just know that they whenever I see some junk, it's usually from them. Let's see, headline: Haunted House Study Sheds Light on How Human Body Responds to Threats. By some woman named Jennifer with an unfortunately spelled last name that I'm not even going to wrestle with. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Orange County has a popular haunted house that has attracted thousands of scare seekers, which is a hyperlink. Let's see what that goes to. Oh, that's just a YouTube video. God, I hate the news. Attracting thousands of scare seekers since it opened in 2014. And it looks like they are now contributing to science. According to a recent paper published in the journal Psychological Science. Let's just go look at the paper. Okay, let's read the abstract. See, this is how getting information really excites me. You start with a terrible article by some woman named Jennifer. Thank the good Lord that she puts in hyperlinks so that when she first mentions a paper that this article, is going to discuss, you can go read the actual paper and see if it's a bunch of junk before you spend time reading an article analyzing the paper. So let's see. Okay, the abstract. Threats elicit physiological responses, the frequency and intensity of which have implications for survival. Ethical and practical limitations on human laboratory manipulations present barriers to studying immersive threat. Well, that's interesting. I feel like ethics are just things people talk about. Furthermore, few investigations have examined group effects in concordance with subjective emotional experiences to threat. The current pre-registered study measured electrodermal activity in 156 adults while they participated in small groups in a 30-minute haunted house experience involving various immersive threats. Results revealed positive associations between A, friends and tonic arousal, B, unexpected attacks and phasic activity, frequency and amplitude, C, subjective fear and phasic frequency, and D, dissociable sensitization effects linked to baseline orienting response. Findings demonstrate the relevance of A, social dynamics, friends versus strangers for tonic arousal, and B, subjective fear and threat predictability for phasic arousal. So, I don't know. Sounds like one, small sample size, and they're just looking at where was it? Electrodermal activity. So, I don't know exactly what that is. Sounds like a bunch of hooey. But, let's see. That abstract kind of sucked. Let's see what Jennifer has to say. Oh, this is interesting. As we've reported previously, hyperlink, which I'll click on in a second, human beings tend to seek out scary movies, horror novels, or haunted houses, and not just during the Halloween season. I almost said hurricane season. So I'm going to click on this link because I want to see this previous report because I am a human being and I do not seek out scary movies, horror novels, or haunted houses. And I think people that do are not only mentally ill, but dumb. So I want to see in this previous reporting what their findings are on folks who like being scared. Because I think if you want to be scared, all you got to do is go outside. Okay. New haunted house study suggests there's a sweet spot for recreational fear. It's just the latest study exploring the mind-body connection between fear and fun. Another article by this Jennifer woman. Let's see. Okay. kind of just self-plagiarized because this exact sentence is the second one in this first article from November 2020. Blah, blah, blah. This tendency has been dubbed recreational fear in the academic literature. Oh my God. I hate academic literature. You can say anything. A mixed emotional experience of fear and enjoyment. But the scare factor has to be just right in order to achieve that mixed state, according to a new paper in the journal Psychological Science that correlates this Goldilocks zone, quotes, Goldilocks zone, of subjective enjoyment with a telltale range of heart rate fluctuations. Let's see. Let's go to this paper from the same journal. I wonder if it's even got the same authors. Just a bunch of stupid goths creating a feedback loop of nonsense to make it seem like everybody likes going to haunted houses when it's really just like the same group of losers. All right. Now this one, I actually have access to the full paper, but I'm going to just start with the abstract because if it's anything like the next paper, then, I won't want to read the whole thing. So, reading from the abstract, the title of the paper is Playing with Fear, a Field Study in Recreational Horror. God, so stupid. Haunted attractions are illustrative. I don't like reading out loud. Illustrative examples of recreational fear in which people voluntarily seek out frightening experiences in pursuit of enjoyment. We present findings from a field study at a haunted house attraction where visitors between the ages of 12 and 57 years, N equals 110, so once again we have a small sample size of 110 people, ages 12 to 57, and it's not mentioned so far in the abstract, but I don't think they really did anything to factor in whether these people are losers or not, because I think that's probably important if we want to be scientific. We don't need to know how losers react to being scared because they go there because they want to be scared. So clearly they're messed up, and we shouldn't base any scientific claims on, someone with fried wires like that. I'm sorry. Nonetheless, these 110 idiots were equipped with heart rate monitors, video recorded at peak scare points during the attraction, and asked to report on their experience. Our results show that enjoyment has an inverted U-shaped relationship with fear across repeated self-reported measures. Moreover, which is a word that only appears in academic literature, results from physiological data demonstrate, physiological data demonstrate that the experience of being frightened is a linear function of large-scale heart rate fluctuations, whereas there is an inverted U-shaped relationship between participant enjoyment and small-scale heart rate fluctuations. These results suggest that enjoyment is related to forms of arousal dynamics that are just right. Quotes on just right. These findings shed light on how fear and enjoyment can coexist in recreational horror. So, oh man, I can't wait to get into all these authors and see what other stupid stuff they've published. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I don't know. It's just Okay, so let's go back and look at this because I don't understand what they're trying to say their results are. The experience of being frightened is a linear function of large-scale heart rate fluctuations. Whereas there is an inverted U-shaped relationship between participant enjoyment and small-scale heart rate fluctuations. Okay, so I'm trying to visualize that on a graph. Let's see. These results suggest that enjoyment. Okay, this is ridiculous. Okay, so it's only enjoyable if it's just scary enough, but not too scary. What is it? It's so stupid. I wonder if they have any. Let's see. Search this journal. Intelligence and recreational horror. Let's see. Oh, they don't have anything. Maybe I can do a study and get published in the Journal of Idiots or whatever it was. All right, let's go back and see what Jennifer has to say. See if she. Oh, wow. Okay, so blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay. So one of the co-authors of this stupid paper is a researcher at the Interacting Minds Center at Denmark's Aarhus University. So there's one strike against Denmark. Blah, blah, blah. Latest in development in a course of research spearheaded by blah, blah, blah. Some Danish. Denmark. Are Danes from Denmark. The people of Denmark are called Danes. Alright, so a bunch of stupid Danes decided to do research on scary stuff. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. There's a hyperlink in this story to another. Let's see. Is this going to the same journal? Okay. This is School of Communication and Culture, which, as we all know, is a hotbed for gobbledygook and nonsense and people who love being pedantic. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Online survey. Wow. An online survey with a sample size of 1,070 people. Interestingly enough, talks about personality traits, but it doesn't. Ooh, okay. Let's see. This might be. Okay. Gender, educational level, and age are correlated with horror liking and frequency of use. Males show higher liking and more frequent use, whereas liking and use frequency are negatively correlated with educational level and age. So it's a bunch of dumb kids that like scary stuff because they're a bunch of psychos. God. Imagine this being your life's research. But oh, Denmark, it's beautiful. It's, democratic socialism. It's beautiful. Everybody's on SSRIs and going to see scary movies and doing research with small sample sizes on stupid things that no one cares about. My God. All right. So that's what's going on in the news of stupid stuff.
All right, this is a live traffic report. 6:02 Saturday evening. It's an immersive traffic experience. Going up the hill, taking a right, speed bump. There's a post holding up the fence. Coming up, another speed bump coming up on the dumpsters on the right. Some heavy objects outside. Looks like we got a couple mattresses. One of them looked like one of the ones you can order from an Instagram ad. Someone's walking their dog. Looks like we got some trash. Alright. Got a red Nissan Altima going west. Followed by a white Nissan Altima headed west. If the next car is a blue Nissan Altima heading west, that's crazy. But it's not. I can't see what it was. It was going too quick. I'm heading east, away from the sun, which is setting. And it is slated to set at 6:31. Time is now 6:04. It's Saturday, February 26th. And I bet a lot of you wish that 2222222 portal didn't open. A little geopolitical shit storm. Didn't expect that. You just thought you were going to manifest some DoorDash coupons. No, bet you didn't see this on your tarot deck. Got a pedestrian in the bike lane wearing sneakers. Got a Lincoln. Got a Ford. School zone. School's out for the weekend. Got a Chevy Suburban going west. I don't know if I can watch any more HBO programs because I was watching Barry, and when he was working at Lululemon, I paused the episode. Well, actually, I didn't pause the episode. I kept it going, but I pulled up Lululemon's web store on my phone and bought some exercise shorts. Yeah, and then I was watching Sopranos, and he was driving that Suburban. I started Googling used Suburbans in Indianapolis. I didn't buy one. I know the gas mileage is horrible. They even joke about it in the show. But, yeah, now I'm watching The Gilded Age, the new HBO show from the creator of Downton Abbey, one of my favorite shows. Amazing theme song. Love that theme song for Downton Abbey. But this new one, The Gilded Age, I'm watching it, and, with Barry, I bought some shorts. Sopranos, I wanted a Suburban, and now I'm just trying to buy off some aldermen so I can build another railroad station in New York City. Oh, man. It's a good show, though. It's interesting. Wow. Well, it's a bright sun. I'm heading south now, behind a Chevy Malibu. Got a Chevy conversion van to my left. A lot of American-made cars out this evening. Got a Honda turning left. There's a Jeep turning left behind it. We're sitting at a red light, which has just turned green. Let's see. Got a Honda CR-V just passed me in the right lane with the Pro Environment license plate, which I've thought about getting just because I like the visual of it. It's a good design. Yeah, let's see. Got a handful of cars heading northbound, rolling through a green light here, coming up to a red light with 2 lanes going forward and 2 right-hand turn lanes. I am in the first of the 2 turn lanes, still behind the Kia. It looks like we've got a Chevy Silverado's caught up to me and is behind me. So I'm going to turn into the second lane, leave the left lane open for them to pass me, because I've just got a little 4-cylinder. And I'll try and hold the microphone in a way that they can't see I am doing a show right now. Yep, it is a Chevy Silverado, making it through the yellow light, which I'm stopping at. Let's see, we've got a Mazda doing a U-turn, heading the opposite direction. I'm now heading southwest. I can't see what car is on my right, but there's a Dodge Ram to the left of me. Got another car, got a few cars doing U-turns here from the turn lane of the oncoming traffic heading northeast. As I think I said correctly, I'm heading southwest. It looks like there is some programming here at the fairgrounds. Let me see. Okay, on my right, it was a Chrysler with temporary plates. Got a BMW coming up behind me on my left, behind a Jeep Liberty. I am confirming there are some vehicles parked in the fairgrounds with some parking attendants. It does seem to have some active event. The high school game of the week on channel 40 is Cathedral at Zionsville. Let's see. Let's see. It's the Indianapolis Boat Sport and Travel Show right now. Wow. Oh man, I really need to turn on a radio station, see if I can win some tickets to that. Let's see. They are working. The State Fairgrounds is under construction, coming soon. They have the Indiana Farm Bureau Fall Creek Pavilion. Let's see. Gas is $3.59. And the sun is starting to be hidden by some beautiful trees. One of the greatest tree-lined stretches here in Indianapolis. Coming up on the Monon, everyone's favorite retired train line. Every once in a while, if you catch someone on one of those one-wheeled scooter things or an electric bike, every once in a while you can catch someone accosting them because there's not supposed to have any of the vehicles on the Monon aren't supposed to have motors. If I ever see someone engage in this type of argument, I try not to engage. Oh, big pothole, just missed it. I try not to engage, but I'm always on the side of the person saying, get that motorized scooter off of this bike path. I'll always side with them. Let's see. 32nd Street is closed. Man, it is really fun dodging these potholes, I tell you what. It's like driving on a NASCAR road course, you know. There's no straight lines here. There's no back stretch. There's no front stretch. You're bopping and weaving, my dude. Alright, rolling through red light. We've got a couple vehicles going from the left lane into the turn lane. One of them's a Scion. A couple of the vehicles that are still going to go through this light. We've got the Dodge Ram, a Ford Taurus, the Chevy Silverado from earlier, and the same Jeep Liberty. Let's see. BMW X4 is first in the turn lane. Let's see, we've got Grand Cherokee, some other Jeep, one of those new Jeeps that look kind of like Lego cars. Got an Escalade. Got a Toyota, looks like a Corolla, turning north onto College from Fall Creek. Followed by a hybrid Ford Fusion. Let's see. We have another Dodge Ram which has come up behind me. It's red, similar to the red Jeep Liberty in front of me. Someone's walking their dog, and there's an Amazon delivery truck. I think there was a Ford Focus heading northeast. I really like this Dodge Ram to my left. If I had to guess, I'd say maybe 2015, 2016. Just got cut off by a Silverado, driving erratically. Must have something against people who respect speed limits on stretches of road that have been compromised by infrastructure shortcomings due to the freezing and melting of water. So, just missed another pothole. Nice. Alright, that's just a bit of the traffic here on Saturday evening. I appreciate you joining me on this journey, and I will keep you posted on any updates as they pan out. Thank you for your time. Riveting stuff. Let's see what happens next as I continue to drive around holding a microphone. I tell you, one of the most fun things is driving on a stretch of road you've never driven before. Got a handful of cars getting gas, pulling up behind a Saturn. I think it's cool people still drive discontinued cars. Got a Toyota Tundra coming at us. Pedestrian in a puff coat. Toyota Highlander on the sidewalk. Got a Lexus, a Honda, a Mercedes, a Hyundai, and a Toyota, all parked, all parallel parked. Got two people with bags over their shoulders crossing the street as I turn right. Got a Ford pickup truck behind me. It's a police officer just heading another direction with his window down. Coming up on a yellow, slowing down. Let's see, one car ran the red in the opposite direction. It was a Chevy Equinox. one's red. Red Ford Focus just went through, perpendicular to me. Oh. And we've got green. Got a building for lease. Got more commercial space for lease. Wonder if there's a cyber attack on all the fast food stores. There's a lot of places with their systems down earlier today. Alright, and it's almost too wild to believe. I'm going to have to confirm this. I'm going to hide the microphone so I don't sketch him out, but hold on. Alright, yeah, I think I just got passed on my left by Vladimir Putin in a Ford F-150. He's now turning left. I swear this guy. Oh, man. Yep, and he just pulled into a crew car wash. So maybe he's trying to wash some of that blood off his hands. Going to the crew car wash. Got a bunch of potholes. Coming up on a red light as someone walks their dog with a backpack on. No clue that Vladimir Putin just pulled into the car wash back there. The Chevy Malibu that just passed me in the left lane probably also has no clue that they just passed Vladimir Putin in a Ford F-150. More commercial space for lease as a Toyota Camry goes northbound. Coming up on another red light. And in the left lane is a Volvo XC70 T5. License plate number. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to dox anybody driving on a Saturday night except Vlad, but I didn't give out his license number. And a Ford Taurus. Oh, Toyota Corolla. Oh man, I am not as good at recognizing front ends as I thought. It is a Toyota Corolla. I am so sorry. It is not a Ford Taurus, but that is a giant obelisk north of the War Memorial. To my right is a post office, and that must mean further down is the... Nope, that's the wrong block. Okay, yeah. I think it was further up, but the Grand Lodge of Freemasons here in Indiana, where I worked for a few months in the Masonic Library Museum. I had never seen so many copies of Morals and Dogma. Coming up on a red light, a Toyota Tundra has appeared ahead of me in this lane. And we've got a red light. I think I already said that. The Salesforce Towers here on our left. Looks like we got a Pontiac heading northbound. More commercial space for lease. And we have arrived at Monument Circle. Let's see what is going on around here this evening. I'm going to yield as a Dodge Ram works its way around. We've got a Ford Escape, a Ford F I don't know. I don't know if it was I think an F-150. Got a Jeep behind me. Got a nice little parade of cars made in the past 15 years. Got some classical music playing over the speakers, pedestrians talking to people in the cars. Got some Asians with a stroller, Toyota with temporary plates, Dodge Ram. There's a sporty looking Honda Civic with nice rims and its hazards on, behind another Honda Civic with its hazards on. We'll continue south on Meridian. Got a Chevy Silverado heading north. Looks like a nice maroon. Nice Jeep here behind a Mazda with a Longhorns decal. The Ford Escape in front of me was purchased at Hillside Motors in Cherville, Indiana. They have a Valpo decal. Windsor Jewelry has been open since 1919. That Qdoba has been open at least a few years. And looks like the proprietor of Happy Dragon from where I grew up, yielding in the crosswalk to a Chrysler 300. Let's see. Behind me, I've got a Jeep with a handicap placard. There's a moderate stream of pedestrians downtown for this fairly chilly evening. Got a bike with speakers and light up tires, and I have a green light which I will go through. Got a car coming at me over the yellow line. And if you want valet at the Ocean Air, it's $12. There's a dog barking. Passing a Lexus. Got some people wearing hats. And on my right is Helium Comedy Club, where you can find me this Wednesday, March 2nd, at the open mic. I'm excited to have my first comedy club performance. And I'm excited to get some stage time because I don't know if I could go a third week paying for 2 items. So I am going to stop at this yellow light behind a Hyundai Palisade with a Jeep Patriot to its right. Let's see. Got a Toyota turning north, Ford Escape driving through, Honda Accord, Chevy Malibu, I think. Let me see. Yep, it's Malibu. I've got a cool video surveillance rig set up here in the parking lot west of the subway. The gentleman who just pulled up on my right's dress shirt sleeve is a lot longer than his jacket sleeve. I am turning left, and we've got a Ford and another Ford and a Mercedes and an Acura and a Nissan, which is turning left into the parking lot between Arby's and Subway. And I make it through a yellow light to come up on a red light, which just turned green. It's currently a one-lane road. The right lane is blocked with traffic cones for what I would imagine is some construction, but it has not kept people from parking on the street outside the Ursay YMCA. And a Tesla has quickly advanced on me, and I hope that they don't think they're getting anywhere anytime soon. The tomato with the sunglasses is hiring. It looks like they're doing some waterline work along South Street. They've got some of the piping staged, and I am now getting into the lane to turn. It looks like in front of a GMC Terrain, we've got a Tesla that is also turning right. They've got a Butler Bulldogs plate with a plate frame that I think is celebrating Jamaica. And they are making the soft right that I am also making. And they either didn't get the recent software update that accelerates your car at a normal rate, or they are having an adverse reaction to a medication because they're driving like an idiot. Got a parked Dodge Ram with some rims. Kia Optima. Looks like we are slowing down, coming up to this green light. Looks like we've got some vehicles trying to turn left, and there is oncoming traffic. Street parking in Fletcher Place is scarce right now. No one's using the outside tables at Greek's Pizzeria. Ask me sometime to tell you about my time working for Greek's Pizzeria. And the Tesla got right up to the red light before it started decelerating. Yeah, I think they're probably in the middle of a software update. But not me. Not me. I'm just glad that my tape deck still works. Let's see, we've got people crossing the street, 2 arm in arm, and then a woman with a stroller and a dog, Honda CRV in the left turn lane coming towards me. And the bridge over 6570 is probably halfway full. The street parking is probably half full. We've got more commercial space for lease. And more space for lease. And we've got what appears to be a red line bus coming up behind me as we come to the fenced off closed liquor cabinet and the fenced off closed Pepe's. Got a vacant building that is not for lease coming through the green light as the Tesla turns right without any turn signal. They probably would, but their turn signal is it hasn't downloaded yet. It's in the cloud. Their turn signal's in the cloud. So as we continue on, Black Star Tactical, H2 or H3, Hummer, and we got a GMC Sierra sitting at the red light. We've got some touristy looking folks posing for a picture outside Thunderbird. The average age in that group, I'd say, is probably 56. And rest in power to the Teamsters building. let's see. Chevy Colorado taking a tight right turn, putting me in a Toyota Camry in harm's way, potentially rear-ended by a rapid transit bus. The Toyota Camry, feeling terribly stressed out, turns off the road. Got a Honda. Some sort of transient man with a beard and a shopping cart. As we pass Pacer bikes on the right and a Chevy SUV heading north. The bike lane is fairly empty as we come upon Mission 27. As we all know, Mission 27 in the Bible is the mission to sell junk in the name of the Lord. Missed a nice little pothole as a Ford Mustang comes at me, Kia, Toyota, and a Chevy. Got a Porsche SUV, and the bus stop is empty. There's no one at the bus stop, but there is a Bird scooter sitting outside of a local business. Parking lot at Klaus's German Sausage and Meats also empty. The clearance at the bridge that I'm about to go under is 13 feet 11 inches, which looks like it was not enough for the rapid transit bus behind me because it is no longer there. There's a police officer heading the opposite direction, and a Honda CR-V, GMC, Kia, got a Ford. Beautiful mural on the side of the Safeway. This was the Safeway I went to, and I was looking at their shredded cheeses and noticed that they all said shredded cheese product. So that's a bit more of the traffic on this Saturday the 26th. Time is now 6:37, and the sun will come up at 7:21 tomorrow, Sunday morning. Thank you for listening to this traffic report, and I'll keep you posted on any further developments. I'll be darned, just as riveting as the last segment. And that'll do it for the most recent episode of the Serenity Now Reconciliation Hour. Stay tuned as more shows will continue to exist. I'm talking to no one when I say I apologize for taking the past 2 months off. I had other things come up that kept me from talking to no one for an hour. My apartment flooded. I haven't unpacked anything. I keep stubbing my toe. Finally got the dishes done. I've been going to some open mics. It's been going pretty alright. So that's, I don't know. We'll get into it moving forward. Nonetheless, I appreciate your time, patience, and attention. I am and remain Duncan Kissinger, reluctant host of the Serenity Now Reconciliation Hour, bidding you adieu.